Andrew, let's break down what happened in this new CBA.
Mm-hmm. So for rule changes, obviously universal DH, we've kind of known it was going to come for a while. It's officially here. They got rid of the 7-inning doubleheaders, and for now, this runner on second, the ghost runner in extra innings is gone. But I did see a John Heyman tweet about last night, as we're recording this on Friday, that they could be coming back because, pitchers, short spring, don't want to risk injuries too much. So that could be coming back, which I think a lot of people, including myself, including you, would not be very happy about.
Definitely not.
One of the biggest gripes of last season in 2020. A lot of people were saying, what is this rule? It's not real baseball. And now on to like the money details. Minimum salary is one of the big holdups, which will be starting at $700K, up 23%, pretty big amount from 2021. It'll raise $20K each year till 2026. The competitive balance, the CBT competitive balance threshold will be at 230 million and will go up to 244 by 2026. There'll be 12-team playoff, 16 draft lottery. And then what I really like is they added some service time manipulation changes. So they'll give a full year of service time to players who finished within top 2 of their respective rookie of the year voting for their respective league. And draft picks will be rewarded to teams that promote players on opening day and finish within the top leaders for major awards. So that'll incentivize teams to not hold players back for the first, whatever it is, 17 days, what like teams like did with Chris Bryant, Vladimir Guerrero, Gleyber Torres. And then we also have some schedule changes. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Will?
Sure, Andrew. So the schedule changes it's 2023. They're not going to do it this year because obviously the schedule's already made. But starting next year, everybody's going to play everybody. That includes American League and National League. They're going to make sure that everybody gets a chance to play everybody at least once. And every other year, it's going to switch from between, for example, the Yankees will play the Dodgers. So let's say next year they play the Dodgers in New York. In 2024, they will play them in LA. So it just switches up every single year, and it makes the scheduling so much more balanced. When, for example, you have that team like the White Sox, who is just they're so much better than everybody in the American League Central. Those are just, I don't want to call them free wins because wins are not free, but they have it a little easier as compared to the American League East with the Blue Jays, Yankees, Tampa Bay Rays, and the Red Sox. You have 4 really good teams in that division who all have to play each other a lot. The White Sox have 4 teams that they can beat up on all the time. American League East, they're not going to be beating up on each other. Maybe the Orioles, but even some teams struggle with the Orioles like the Yankees, but it will make it a lot more balanced, and it'll make it a lot more fun. People get to see other players from other leagues. Mookie Betts, you'll get to see Mookie Betts more often if you live on the East Coast. I know he played for the Red Sox, so you got a good dose of him, but you don't get to see him that much anymore. So like a guy like Cody Bellinger too, you'll get to see him more often against your team and every other year at your home field. So that's very exciting to me.
Yeah, I love this change. I've been wanting to have this for a while. Ever since I started watching baseball, my favorite parts of the schedule was when they would have that little period from June, like mid-June till mid-July, where it would just be interleague games. It used to be like, I think everybody knows about it, how it used to be not like interleague all year. It used to be a little period. And those were cool because we never got to see the NL teams. And now that we get to play every team every year, I think that's so cool. Like, especially since there's players who, like, if you play in an NL or an NL club, you might not get to play in a certain AL stadium for like your whole career, and you could play like 7 years. So I think it's great that they added that. Great for just growing the game. Great for getting players out there to different markets.
Definitely. I really, really like this change too, Andrew. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to bring more people to the game to see other athletes that they would not normally get to see. Now, for another, it's not a schedule change. I would call it more of a schedule addition. Major League Baseball is now expanding their international horizons. They used to play games in Mexico and some in Puerto Rico, and they had that one series with the Yankees and Red Sox in London back in 2019. And obviously, due to how the world kind of folded out the last few years, the international games were not a thing. But now Major League Baseball is expanding. So they will be playing games in Mexico, Paris, London, the Dominican Republic, and as well as Puerto Rico. Really like this too. You're exposing the game to places where it needs to be exposed. Now, in Central and South America, you got Mexico, and you have the Puerto Rico, and you have the Dominican Republic, places where baseball is very prevalent. But then you go to Europe and you play in London and Paris. Those are not big baseball countries. Now, you're going to show them the national pastime of America, and I just really like it because it shows people how entertaining and how much fun the sport can really be.
Yeah, I really like the international games. I think they're great for growing the game, especially London, because they're not really a place where baseball is very popular. They're more into cricket. And when the Yankees and Red Sox went over there, I'm sure there was tons of people that just like were learning new baseball rules and about the game, about the players for the first time, which is great. And I just hope the next time that they do an international game that it feels more like a real baseball game, because when we played in London, it did not feel like real baseball. That was just a slugfest. I think one of the games ended with about 30 runs combined. So I just hope it's a more level play stadium the next time.
Yeah, I do too, Andrew, but we got to be honest, could kind of expect that. You know, we look at last year with the Field of Dreams game. People are going to want to see offense in a big premier game like that, especially if you're going across the pond and you're going to have an audience of people who have not seen this game before. Personally, I do agree with you. I'd rather see a more balanced game because a baseball game is not 15-13. If it was more like, I don't know, like 6-5, 6-4, that'd be fine because you want to show them what the game is really about. You know, like a score of 15-13, that doesn't always happen. You want to show them what actually what usually happens in baseball. But, you know, it's all a marketing strategy. So whatever happens, happens. But the last thing I want to talk about here, Andrew, about the CBA is the 12-team playoff format. I want to hear your thoughts on this revamped and added or additional 2 teams to the playoff format.
I said last episode, I think 10 is perfect. 12, I can live with. Obviously, the owners wanted more. Players had to compromise. 12, I do find it very interesting. I believe they're going with I'm not 100% sure. I believe they're going with the format where you get to pick who you get to play. But I'm very happy that it's not 14. So 12 is fine.
I definitely agree with you. I don't want it to be 14 at all. You're getting way too close to that 50% mark. You cannot reward 50% of the league. That's just, no, that's not going to happen. I 100% agree with you. 10 was perfectly fine. The only change I would have made, I would like to see that wild card game become a series just to drag it out a little more. But the one game playoff is exciting too because backs are against the wall. You have one game to decide your 162 game season. That it's always very interesting. It sucks when your team is in it, like the Yankees last year, but you know, it is what it is. I don't know the specifics on how they're going to do this, but whatever they're going to do, I think it'll be fun. It's going to shake up the game a little bit, and it'll give teams more of an opportunity to win. You know, you make that 12-team pool, and then as everybody knows, it's just a crapshoot from there. You just got to win those. It'll be more games now, but be the first team to win 11 games in October, and you get yourself a big trophy and a ring. So that is it for our CBA talk. Lots to unpack that we just did right there. It should be a fun 5 years, a lot of things to look ahead.